Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today, we're going to look at the normalized return on investment as measured from March 13th, 2020, or the depths of despair. We did this a few weeks ago. I thought, given Bitcoin's recent movement over the last few weeks, we would simply do an update. So if you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel. Let's go for 80,000 subscribers. Give the video a thumbs up and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Let's go ahead and jump in. So where are we? A few weeks ago, we looked at this and the ROI on Bitcoin was obviously a lot lower. I don't remember exactly what the price was at the time, but we were certainly nowhere close to $26,000, $27,000. So even with that, right, even with that recent move by Bitcoin, it's the yellow line that's basically piercing through the middle of this chart. It has seen a great return on investment as measured from March 13th. We're choosing March 13th because that was the major capitulation. Now, arguably, this is not the fairest way to measure it because since altcoins generally capitulate a lot harder when Bitcoin capitulates, then the price that we're measuring the ROI from would obviously be lower because they tend to have knee-jerk reactions harder than those that Bitcoin does. But be that as it may, had you purchased these coins at the closing candle on March 13th, this would be the ROI you would have as measured from that day. So Bitcoin has improved. You can see the ROI as measured from March is just cutting through a lot of these other cryptocurrencies. Cut through several of them. However, some of them have come right back in full force. Some of the ones that have underperformed, okay, and again, if these projects are near and dear to your heart, you can keep them there, that's fine, but all I'm doing is reporting the data, okay, that's all we're doing. So you don't need to go tell me, hey, this project has community, whatever. Let's just look at how the ROI looks. EOS, it's not looking so hot, right? I mean, even as measured from all the way over here, it's barely up, okay? Barely up. Another one that's barely up is XTZ. So, in terms of, say, trying to pick ones that are performing, some of these just don't simply seem to be performing so far. That doesn't mean they won't perform. It just means that, it's going to have to completely change a trend, and momentum is something that's hard to change. Dash also has not had a stellar performance. You can see right here. These are the ones that have underperformed Bitcoin, right? So if it can't even outperform Bitcoin, then I don't, the justification for holding it is hard to come up with a reason, especially since we're measuring these things from the bottom on March 13th because altcoins capitulated a lot harder than Bitcoin. So if measured from that bottom, certain altcoins cannot even outperform Bitcoin, then you have to wonder, why are you paying for all this extra risk and reaping a return so much lower, okay? So EOS underperformed so far. Maybe times will change. XTZ also underperformed. Dash underperformed. Litecoin so far underperformed. Obviously, a lot of people are bullish on Litecoin. Actually, a couple weeks ago, I picked up some Litecoin myself since Bitcoin crossed its prior all-time high. But generally speaking, it's not one that I tend to accumulate, right? There's certain coins I just accumulate, and then there's ones I might pick up at occasional times. So Litecoin underperformed, okay? Some other ones that have recently gone to being underperforming, but only very recently, are Atom and, let's see, this other Dash one, Tron. So these two have also now come to the underperforming category. Now, if we go to this chart, we're only going to try to isolate the ones that have mostly overperformed Bitcoin. So which ones are these? And then let's also think about which ones we've been covering on the channel for the last year. The main ones we cover on the channel for the last year have been Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link, ADA, Polkadot. Right? I think Polkadot has a bright future. We've also covered VeChain a couple times and Monero a couple times. XRP has also overperformed as measured from the bottom. However, given everything going on with it right now, we're not going to get into that. Probably not really worth talking about it too much. Again, this is not financial advice. None of this is financial advice. We're just looking at the data, and with recent news surrounding it, It doesn't mean that it ultimately won't trend higher. It just means that there is a lot, there's more risk now. There's obviously more risk now given what's going on. So with that said, what are the coins that have outperformed Bitcoin? Okay, since the bottom, which they need to have done, otherwise why do we hold them? Ethereum, done pretty well, all the way up here. Pretty significant overperformance so far, despite the fact that some people will cherry pick its return since September. If you go back to March, or if you go back to January, it's overperformed Bitcoin. So, Ethereum, good. That's one we hold. That's one I hold. Anyways, I should say that's one I hold. Link, basically one of the top performers, tied with the top performers. Link is up there. ADA, also up there, right at the top. Right at the top, and it's been doing well today too. Maybe ADA is going to take the lead out of all the coins we've looked at. You know, a lot of people will like to say things about ADA. You know, what has ADA done for me recently? I mean, just look at the trend, man, right? I mean, since March. I mean, it was below 2 cents, and now it's 17 cents. Don't lose sight of what's happened. Look at the ROI. Look at the data. The short-term trend can lead to emotional decisions, which a lot of times don't make any sense at all. ADA has been one of the top performers of the main cryptocurrencies that we cover in the top 20 or so. Okay, it just simply has, if you want to argue about it, just look at the data, see what the data says. XLM has also done pretty well. Most of it, however, we should note, has come in recent times. Okay, we have not done a standalone video on XLM. Maybe we will. We have not done a standalone video on it. Maybe we'll want to see how it continues to perform, because most of these gains were fairly recently. A lot of the other ones had pretty significant gains throughout the entire year. It wasn't just a single spike. Okay, and since that spike, it has come down a bit. So we'll keep an eye on that. VeChain. We have at least 1 or 2 videos on VeChain. We talk about it in a lot of live streams. One of the top performers. Monero, also overperforming Bitcoin so far. That's another one I hold. So these coins that we're showing here have overperformed Bitcoin as measured from the closing candle on March 13th. This provides justification so far that it was a good decision to hold them. You know, if you find yourself holding some of these coins that continue to underperform, I'm not suggesting anything in terms of whether you should sell or buy them. You know, I'm not providing financial advice. I just tend to try to go with horses that are winning the race and are showing, you know, a lot of strength over horses that are having trouble getting out of the gate. That's all it is. It's not any more complicated than that. That's primarily what I do. So here we are. The main ones we cover on the channel: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link, ADA, and DOT. We're not doing DOT. It's still relatively new. It has gone on a little bit of a run recently, though. Bitcoin is the yellow line. Ethereum is the white line. So it has overperformed Bitcoin, but it's got a smaller market cap, more volatility. We would expect this to overperform if we're going to hold it. Link and ADA, right at the top, right where they need to be. Okay, so hopefully this video is informative to some people in terms of, you know, trying to drown out short-term movements and losing sight of what has actually happened this year. Forgetting that while Bitcoin has made major moves in the last couple months, it's still, the returns given by some of the other coins still are much better. And it's just a simple fact, right? It's a simple fact that they have outperformed Bitcoin this year. Now, be that as I may, I still hold the majority of my portfolio in Bitcoin, followed by Ethereum. I don't want to take on the extra risk associated with having too much of my portfolio in a lot of altcoins. So while I do hold ADA and I do hold Link, I hold significantly more amounts of Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's just my own personal preference in managing my risk in the cryptocurrency market. So hopefully this has been a useful video. We'll try to do updates of this video maybe once a month or so, just so we're completely transparent on where things are. If one coin starts to underperform, then maybe we'll take note. If one coin starts overperforming, that's all the way down here, we'll take note of that too. But for now, as measured from the last video and this video, not a whole lot has changed, really. The major thing that has changed is that the Bitcoin normalized ROI from March 13th has made up some ground on some of the different cryptocurrencies. But for the most part, not a whole lot has changed, and ADA and Link and VeChain remain at the top, and the ones that are at the bottom were also there around that area the last time we looked at this. So if you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel. Let's go for 80,000 subscribers. Give the video a thumbs up. Also check out the Telegram channel in the description below, and remember, we do have the premium list holiday sale. You can find a link to that in the description below as well. Make sure you sign up before the prices go up. You get access to the weekly reports, the weekly premium videos, the Telegram alerts channel, the Telegram chat room, the risk dashboard, the trading view indicators. Next year, we're going to be doing some live streams for the premium list as well. Make sure you guys check that out. Subscribe, thumbs up. I'll see you next time. Bye.